Greetings YouTube, day 2 of the Axe Cordwood Challenge. I started last week with a standing dead ash at the top knocked off of it. Today I'm doing a cherry tree, a similar situation. It hasn't been dead as long. Actually, I don't think it was dead. I think it just had the top knocked off and there was still some green shoots sprouting off of it. This happened over the summertime. It was just some storm came by and knocked the top of it off. So I know it's a candidate to come down, even though it was still trying to hang on. Cherry is very prolific around here. It's lots of it. I mean, lots of it. So if I had to take down a couple of saplings or even some mulberry trees, I'm not really that worried about it. It grows everywhere around here. The axe I used today, one of my personal favorites, my Ernetta Waregi 2 kilogram Basque axe. It's on a 25-inch haft. Friction fit. The head actually slips onto the bottom. Very unique. This thing is just, it's a wood destroyer. I'm also using a relatively new axe that I acquired from Russia. It's called a Cordwood, which I believe means Russian axe, or Siberian axe in Russian, I believe is what it is. This is about 2 1/4 pounds, I'm not sure. The interesting thing about this is that it's hung with only wooden wedges, 1 center one and 2 cross wedges. This thing is also laminated steel. There's a hard steel in the center and a slightly softer steel around it to give it added ductility, and then it's hardened. And this has a hardened pole on it too. So this thing's really cool. It came with the handle pretty darn thick. I thinned it out quite a lot. It's an ash handle. It's pretty close to where I want it. Maybe a little bit thinner, but it's definitely a lot better than it was. And this thing I used to do most of the limbing, and I switched over to this as I started getting up towards the top of the tree where it was thinner, and this thing was performing beautifully. So I'm going to finish bucking the rest of this log and then start to split it. First I want to give a shout out to another YouTuber who I recently came across. His name is Ben Scott. He's actually taking up the mantle this year for the Axe Cordwood Challenge in place of Skill Cult, or Stephen Edholm, who had started it or spearheaded the whole thing about 2 or 3 years ago. The shout out I want to give to is particularly his new video that series he's been making, Fundamentals of Axemanship. His part 2 shows you on bucking. Now, since my injury and everything, I haven't really been swinging many axes. I just started to get back into it probably a few weeks ago, and seriously last weekend when I decided to take up the Axe Cordwood Challenge. The size of these chips, I went ahead and implemented some of the fundamentals that he was showing in that video. I already knew how to buck a log, but watching his video, my bucking today has just improved immensely. Not quite where I want to be yet, but definitely a lot better than I was last weekend. I mean, these chips, look at that. I am getting a little winded here. I'm not quite in bucking shape yet, but I'll show you here kind of how I remember how to do it. Maybe I need to go watch it again as I finish bucking the rest of this log. So we got a knot there. Yep. Well, that was probably a bad section because it's not here, but you kind of get the idea as it goes to some more of the straight grain stuff. It's definitely got me moving a lot faster. So check out his video. His name is Ben Scott. The series is called Fundamentals of Axemanship. Alright, this piece here is a little more straight of grain. Let's see if I can execute that without hitting a knot and breaking my rhythm. Ben's technique. Just in 30 minutes of practice, getting the rhythm going has improved my bucking a lot. So thanks, Ben. Alright, there's all the logs bucked. All I have to do now is split them. So that's the aftermath of about that 25-30 foot tree with the top knocked off of it. Again, it's black cherry. Alright, everything's split. I had a visitor stop by about 10 minutes ago and it started sprinkling. I didn't know it was going to rain today, but it's calling for rain in about 45 minutes, so I better hightail it and get this thing run up to my wood lot, or my wood yard, and get it stacked. Alright, there's everything that I worked on today in my rick. That rick there is about, let's see, it's 5 pallets, so I think I measured it to be approximately 15 feet long, so I'm going to stack it probably about a foot taller to be about 2 ricks. So, not bad for 2 days effort. My first 2 tries with a bum knee. Well, it's not really bum, it's recovering, but I'm doing better. So, I'm pretty happy with it. Big thanks to Skill Cult for coming up with this idea. I think it's a really good idea. And shout out to Ben Smith, who is heading it up this year. And check out his YouTube channel under his name. Lots of good content on axemanship and axes in general. So, see you next time.